The Rekindling of the Starflame Chapter 6, The Blackened Wastes. The blackened wastes stretched before the Fellowship like a grievous scar etched upon the bosom of Althoria, a vast expanse where once verdant plains had flourished under the Starflame's radiant gaze, blooming with grasses that swayed like the manes of celestial steeds and flowers whose petals sang in hues of dawn's first blush. Now, the earth lay scorched and cracked, its surface a mosaic of charred stone and dust-veined fissures. Rivers dried to mere whispers of parched veins that snaked through the desolation like the remnants of forgotten sorrows. The air shimmered with a heat born not of the sun's benevolent fire, but of the shadow veil's malevolent will, carrying the acrid scent of ash and brimstone, a bitter tang that clung to the tongue and seared the throat. Here, Zorthar's betrayal had burned deepest in the shattering, his treacherous pact with the void igniting a cataclysm that left the land a wound bleeding despair, where no star dared shine through the roiling twilight sky. A canopy of endless gloom unbroken by light's defiant spark. Arion, Morwen, and Thaler trod this forsaken realm, their steps heavy upon the brittle ground that crunched like the bones of fallen titans underfoot. The starstone at Arion's breast pulsed faintly, a guiding warmth against the oppressive heat that pressed upon them, like the breath of a slumbering dragon, while the horn of Eldrin hummed softly at his belt, its resonance a shield against the veil's insidious pull. Morwen's grey tax gleamed dully in the murk, her iron braids matted with dust, her eyes scanning the horizon with the vigilance of her mountain kin. Thaler's lute, slung across his back, seemed to whisper counter-melodies to the waste's eerie silence, its strings vibrating faintly as if attuned to the land's hidden laments. The Fellowship's cloaks billowed in wains that howled with the voices of the betrayed, carrying whispers of Zorthar's malice that sought to unravel the bonds of their resolve. Arion gripped Starfang's hilt, its blade a cool counterpoint to the sweltering air, his grey eyes fixed upon the distant haze where the flame heart lay entombed. A gem pulsing with the Covenant's essence, the next shard in their quest to rekindle the Starflame. The wastes attested them with trials of the spirit, illusions woven from the veil's dark loom that assailed the mind like tempests from the void. Visions rose from the cracked earth, mirages born of despair. Arion beheld the citadel of Velthar crumbling anew in flames that licked the sky, his father's cries echoing in the heat-hazed air, a scent of burning timber mingling with the waste's ash. Morwen saw her clan's halls overrun by horrors spawned from shadow, their roars blending with the wind's howl, the taste of blood and defeat bitter upon her lips. Thaler heard his own songs twisted into dirges of doubt, mocking his wandering heart with melodies that fractured like the parched ground beneath them. The air grew thick, heavy with the illusion's cloying sweetness laced with rot, and the Fellowship staggered, their senses besieged by the veil's cunning artifice. Yet Thaler's fingers found the lute strings, coaxing forth harmonies of hope forged in Lyranthar's ancient groves, notes that shimmered in the air like wards of light, dispelling the visions with a resonance that hummed through their bones and cleared the haze from their minds. "Sing, bard," Morwen urged, her voice a growl of defiance amid the swirling dust, her hand steadying Thaler as the illusions faded like mist before dawn. "Let the shadows know we fear them not, for our hearts are forged in honor's fire." Arion nodded, his resolve a beacon amid the gloom, the starstone's pulse quickening like a second heart. "Press on," he intoned, his words grave as the mountain stone. "For the flame heart awaits, and with it, the light to pierce this endless night." Together they advanced, the waste's heat a forge that tempered their unity, each step a testament to the Covenant's enduring spark. The ground yielded secrets in their passage, ruins of ancient waste stations half buried in ash, their stones etched with runes of warning from the first heroes, faded but resonant, whispering of Zorthar's envy that had ignited the cataclysm, his fall a shadow cast upon the realm's very soul. Deeper into the wastes they came upon the Ashen Hollow. a vast crater like the maw of some abyssal beast, its edges rimmed with jagged spires of blackened stone that rose like the ribs of a fallen colossus. At its center stood a shrine of obsidian, polished to a mirror's sheen despite the eons, cradling the flame heart, a gem that pulsed with a radiant warmth, its facets catching the twilight in bursts of crimson and gold, a promise of renewal amid the desolation. Yet it was guarded by a serpent of shadow and ash, its scales forged from the betrayer's malice, coiling vast as a river of night, eyes twin voids that drank the scant light. Its hiss carrying Zorthar's voice like thunder from the depths. Turn back, rekindler, for the flame heart is mine, and my quest is folly woven from the threads of doomed lineage. The air filled with the stench of sulfur and charred earth, the serpent's breath a gale that scorched the skin and blurred the vision. The battle erupted in a symphony of valor and woe, the fellowship arrayed against the beast's writhing form. Morwen's axe cleaved through scales that bled smoke and shadow, her roars drowning the serpent's hiss. The impact reverberating through her arms like the clash of glaciers. Thaler's songs disrupted the illusions that bloomed from the creature's maw, melodies that wove barriers of harmony, their notes shimmering in the air like shields of starlight. Arion struck at the heart, Starfang a lance of dawn that pierced the void eyes, its blade singing with the blood of Velthur, the serpent's whispers recoiling from his unyielding will. The ground trembled, fissures spewing ash that stung the eyes and choked the lungs, yet the fellowship endured. Their senses alive with the fray, the sight of writhing coils and glowing relics, the sound of clashing steel and bardic strains, the touch of searing heat and blade's bite, the scent of smoke and shadowed malice, the taste of dust and defiant resolve. With a final resounding blow, Arion sundered the serpent's core, its form dissolving into a whirlwind of ash that howled in defeat, the air clearing to reveal the flame heart's unmarred glow. Securing the gem, the fellowship felt the tide of despair recede, its warmth spreading through their veins like the first light of dawn, banishing the waste's oppressive heat and kindling hope anew. Arion cradled the flame heart, its pulse sensing with the starstone's rhythm, a surge that mended wounds and fortified the spirit. One relic more, Thaler murmured, his voice a melody of triumph shadowed by foreboding. The starwave cloak in the enchanted grove, where nature's wardens guard against the veil's corruption. Morwen nodded, her axe cleansed of shadow's taint, her eyes alight with the fire of redemption. As they departed the wastes, turning southward to groves where ancient enchantments bloomed, Thaler sang a lay of their triumph, etching valor into Althria's annals, while the whispers of Zorthar faded to echoes, harbingers of trials and verdant hearts yet to be tested. The journey from the wastes was a path of renewal, the scorched earth yielding to fringes of hardy scrub that rustled with tentative life, the air softening from brimstone's bite to the faint scent of distant rain. The flameheart's glow cast long shadows behind them, a beacon against the twilight, and the fellowship's bond deepened, forged in the crucible of shared peril. Yet the veil's malice lingered, faint but persistent, a reminder that the Starflame's rekindling demanded sacrifices profound. As they ventured toward the enchanted grove, where Lyral awaited, her destiny entwined with theirs in threads of light and shadow. Image prompt: a barren, cracked wasteland under a turbulent sky of endless twilight, with jagged spires of blackened stone rising like the bones of a fallen titan. 3 figures, a stern warrior, a towering chieftainess, and a melancholic bard, traverse the desolate expanse, their silhouettes haloed by the faint glow of a starstone. In the distance, ghostly wisps of shadow coil, hinting at unseen perils. Thus, the fellowship endures the waste's crucible, senses scorched by its trials, the sight of cracked earth and serpentine coils, the sound of howling winds and bardic harmonies, the touch of searing heat and gem's warmth, the scent of ash and brimstone, the taste of despair yielding to hope's spark. The tale of the rekindling of the Starflame weaves onward, its threads a forge of myth, binding the scarred heart of Altheria to the unyielding wills of its bearers.